Hey family, welcome to episode 6 of Smell Good with Asia. If you're new here, hey, my name is Asia and I create resourceful video series that help you look good, smell good, and follow Jesus. This is a series that goes live every single Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, so make sure you come back next week. Now today I'm talking to all my family who loves to pick your clothes, your shoes, your jewelry, and all the things depending on your mood. If you like to switch it up, or if you're the type of person who loves a good bargain, loves to shop on a budget, then this is a video specifically for you in helping you build your fragrance collection and add in gems that you probably otherwise wouldn't add to your collection. Oakcha is a brand that makes switching up your fragrances both affordable and tangible. We're not talking replicas, okay? No. We're talking about inspired fragrances. So what Oakcha does is they take a niche or designer fragrance that is fairly popular and they make it more potent by turning it into an extrait de parfum, and they make it more affordable by keeping their prices low. So if you take a look at my package that I have on the screen, the box is matte. You see that it is still nice, still luxurious. It's got the pull tab. When you open it up, you still get the presentation, but it's a very minimalistic matte bottle. When you take the bottle out, you see that it has a nice, sleek design, chic design. And when you pop off that cap, what do you have? A bomb sprayer. So there's no extra glitz and glam on this bottle, which helps keep the price low, but you're still not being cheated with the presentation either. My bottles look so cute lined up in a row, okay? I mean, imagine that on a shelf. Still super cute. And the best part about it is Oakcha has over 70 fragrances. Most scents smell spot on and the intensity is better. So you're winning all the way around. So now let's get into the nitty gritty on the 3 fragrances that I received. Madame Rose retails for $45 and she's inspired by Delina by Parfums de Marley. So the original Delina by Parfums de Marley retails for over $300. And I have compared both of these fragrances. I have worn Madame Rose for a complete day. I have worn Delina for a complete day, and not just once, not just twice, but a multitude of times, because this has easily become my current favorite scent, okay? So I do have a sample of Delina by Parfums de Marley that I purchased from Scentbird, which I think it cost me about $26 or so. I've worn it about 5 times and it's still got a lot left in it. That's where you can see that's about as much as I've used. And I do spray generously. So I do feel like I will get a lot of wear out of this sample. But nevertheless, let's talk about how Madame Rose compares to Delina. So I actually wore Madame Rose before I ever tried Delina. I literally was waiting for Scentbird to send my sample. And so Madame Rose got here first. So I wore it. The very first time I wore this fragrance, it smelled like a very fresh rose to me. I did smell a little bit of greenery, but it wasn't obnoxious at all. I am very picky when it comes to greenery. I'm not a big fan of it. But in this scent, the very first time that I wore it, I did not get annoyed by that fresh green aspect to it. It just made it smell like a very realistic rose. It was flattering and just overall appealing to me, and I did enjoy the fragrance. So after my initial time wearing this fragrance, I didn't really pay attention to the wear time that particular time. So the second time I wore this scent profile, my Scentbird order finally came in. So I wore Delina, and this time I actually picked up on the rhubarb, and I found that this scent had a potpourri-like smell in the back. It was very appealing to me. I really enjoyed it. I did still gather the freshness that I picked up in the Madame Rose version of this fragrance, but I picked up on the rhubarb and I really enjoyed that. In addition to me picking up on that rhubarb, I also picked up on the lychee in the Delina version. I picked up on more lychee and rhubarb, still a little bit of greenery, but it did get me to thinking, what was my experience like with Madame Rose? I couldn't really remember if those notes were present. So I decided to wear it again. I waited one day and then I went back to Madame Rose and I sprayed it on again. And when I tell you, my experience was spot on identical. Now, I couldn't really appreciate the fullness of the fragrance the first time I wore it. And I honestly think it's because maybe I just needed to wear it more than one time. Like my nose was probably getting accustomed and acquainted with the fragrance. But after I wore these for a week, I could smell them much better and I really enjoyed it. And I also found that there is no significant difference between these two. In both of them, I experienced the lychee, and both of them, I experienced a slight freshness, and in both of them the rhubarb is there and spice and smoke from incense as well, and I love it so much. Very soft, very feminine, very beautiful fragrance. The Madame Rose comes through and gives you the experience. Now let's talk about longevity. So I would spray on Madame Rose around 7 a.m. in the morning, and it would last until about 3 o'clock p.m., still being able to be smelt, still being able to have some sillage and be picked up around me. Now around 7 o'clock, which is a 12-hour window, it will have become a skin scent on me. This is how this wore for me. I got roughly 8 hours of detectable wear, and then the rest of the hours leading up to that 12-hour mark, it was more of a skin scent, but you could still smell it. And also with this long wear test, I sprayed Madame Rose about 6 times. Okay, so I put it on for real. And honestly, when I wore Delina, I got a similar wear time. So if you have been wanting to try Delina by Parfums de Marley, I 100% recommend that you try this Madame Rose from Oakcha, and I would wear it more than one time. I'm telling you, it literally took me 3 times to get the full experience. Wear it multiple times and give your nose time to adjust to it, because if you're anything like me and you're exploring new things, you might not pick up on all the notes, you know? Your nose might be maturing like mine. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, I really recommend this one. So now let's go into Creed, because Aventus for her really shines in the springtime. It is definitely a beautiful scent, and Oakcha has a Aventus for her inspired fragrance. If you haven't seen my review on Aventus for her, I definitely recommend it. I have an in-depth full video on that, but I want to talk about how it compares to its Oakcha inspired version, which is called Akimbo. My wear time for Creed Aventus for her literally is over 12 hours. Okay, I literally can spray this on at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and wake up in the morning and still smell it. What I most enjoy about this fragrance has to be the opening. Akimbo definitely gives you the same experience as Creed Aventus for her. I would say it's like 99% similar. If I didn't already have Creed Aventus for her in my collection, I would definitely get Akimbo, because what I've realized through wearing this fragrance, though I like the opening, the dry down is not something that I'm crazy about. I literally put this on at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and when I woke up, it was still there the next day. I showered and everything, and that thing was still there. It had some holding power. Okay. I don't know. The dry down for me, it's not necessarily something that I feel like, oh my gosh, this smells amazing. I don't feel like it stinks, but I also am not just like crazy in love with it either. And so I think that having the experience of wearing a fragrance and seeing how it makes you feel and seeing how you feel about it after smelling it for a long time, after the initial opening is gone, after the heart notes have disappeared, like being able to say you sat with a fragrance and you experienced it, like you want to do that with something that doesn't cost $400, right? You either going to get a sample, or if you want to make a little bit more of a commitment than a sample, you can definitely get something like Akimbo, which is $45, which is probably around the same price as a sample anyways, because y'all saw I said I paid almost $30 for my Delina sample. Like you can get a full-size bottle to sample as you are making a decision on if you want to go to the luxury route, right? But either way, you're going to get the experience and you can make a decision, and you can also get a bang for your buck. Again, we're talking about being able to switch up your scent based on your mood, your outfit, your feelings, and all the things. All right, so now let's talk about the final fragrance that I have, and that is Rosalina. And Rosalina is an inspired fragrance for Creed Carmina. I've made a detailed video giving you the comparison of the two, my overall thought and opinion on these two. So if you have not seen that video yet, I definitely recommend that you watch that next. It is linked within this video. And I would love for you to chime in down below and let me know one fragrance on your niche wish list. I'll have mine down in the comment box down below. And be sure to head over to Oakcha. I'll have links in the description box, and if or when I have an affiliate code, you'll be able to find it down there as well. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in this week's Smell Good with Asia, and I will see you next Friday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, make sure you subscribe. Bye guys.